All right, Evangeline, we're live.
We're live?
We're live right now.
Oh, snap.
So
I was just staring at myself like, wow, look at me.
How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I am great.
Good.
We are back live at the Lewis and Clark County Fair and Stampede at the Red Quill Media booth,
Yes.
where we are doing candid conversations and interviewing and letting vendors from around the fair come in and tell us about their booth, their missions, their wares, whatever it is.
Okay.
The booth has been decorated by New Vision Thrift Shop.
This one?
All of it.
I love it. I love New Vision.
New Vision came in. She
They're
came in
great.
and she decorated for us.
Oh, amazing. She did awesome.
So we shout her out every
What's her
time we
name?
do it. Don't put me on the spot. Is it Marcy?
I think, maybe. I don't know. I've never met her. I've just heard about New Vision recently.
Okay, well, it's awesome.
Yeah.
And we thank her for doing it.
Yeah. Thank you.
I am John Looney. I am running for House District 81. I am here with Evangeline, and I'm going to let her introduce herself and all of her different hats.
Oh, yes.
And then we're going to talk about why you're here at the fair this time.
Okay. Sounds good.
So, tell me about yourself.
Well, I work for the Montana Family Foundation as their media productions person, and that's been really fun. I've really enjoyed that.
You're usually sitting over there.
I'm usually behind. We have like a podcast set up, and that's Derek and Patrick, and then I'm back there watching everything. So I'm never usually on this side. So I like it. I like putting the pressure on other people to be on the spot.
Okay, well, we're going to put the pressure on you tonight.
Man, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
What else do you do?
Well, on top of that, I volunteer to help out with different things like the Lewis and Clark Central Committee. I do their media as well, or I've been working, I guess it's called their marketing. So I've been trying to help with their marketing. And we've got a good campaign that we're going to roll out for them and everything. And then as well as that, I've been working with LifeWise Academy. And that's just an amazing group because they are bringing Bible education to public school students during the school day. And that's what we're here at the fair for.
And that's what you're here for at the fair for.
Yes.
So tell me about LifeWise.
So LifeWise is basically there was the Supreme Court case, Zorok v. Clausen, and what that did is it kind of was like it threw I think religious community, the Christian community, it was like it was I guess like, hey, I know that we just kicked religion out of public schools completely, but we're going to say that you can still have religious release time programs, but they can't be taxpayer funded and they have to be off school property and it has to be at parents' permission. So that's what we do is we've developed this program that takes kids during their during a release time, like maybe a study hall or a library period. Parents can sign them up for that, and then we work with the principals of these different schools who let us know which kids whose parents have signed up or opted in, and then we pick them up during that time of the day once a week for 1 hour, and we take them to the nearest church or a host church or a host building, and we give them Bible instruction and then take them back.
So this happens during school hours.
Yes.
Parents have to opt in.
Yep.
Are any of the schools in Helena taking advantage of this right now?
Yes. So we have C.R. Anderson, Bryant, Smith, and then there's an East Helena director. I'm with the Helena group. The East Helena director would know more about the East Helena schools that they're working with.
Okay. Let's talk about the use or the clubs in school for a second.
Okay.
So we had a young lady on podcast yesterday or the day before, and I don't recall what school Katie was talking to her.
Right.
But she wanted to start a Bible study group.
Oh, interesting.
Like an extracurricular, and she was told that she couldn't do that. But there could be an LGBTQ group.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys kind of take the place of that.
Right.
How does the case affect that? So was there anything about private groups or extracurricular activities?
Right. That's such a good question. I don't know. From what I know about the Zork v. Clausen case, I think it just deals with those religious release time programs. But in terms of religious discrimination, where one group is allowed based on their ideology, of course, they say it's not a religion. So it's like, so they'd be like, hey, it's not religious. She can have an LGBTQ group. It's just, but yours is religious. And remember, separation of church and state. So can't have that, even though that's your worldview. Because they associate that LGBTQ side of things with just being like a lifestyle or just like a thing, secular. Whereas the other one's even though that is a worldview, and even Christianity is a worldview, they associate that with religion. So then separation of church and state, you can't have a religious club. And that happened to me at college too. I went to Helena College, and they had a Christmas door decorating thing, and we could not put a nativity on our door, on like our class door.
On your class door or on
Yes.
your like dorm room or
No, not dorm room. It was like you can decorate these different doors and pick a door or whatever and decorate it for Christmas. But people did like Islam, stuff and like other stuff, but not like a nativity. So so sometimes I wonder if uh like these HR, I don't know what it is, like these leaders in this public school, or like this what this girl went to, maybe it was a college, or um I don't know if it's like the humanities department or whatever, they, without having any true authority, start to control things because of their perception of separation of church and state. I had a group on campus that was totally fine and good, and those people sent out an email. It was the largest group on campus at Helena College. It was a Christian group. It was the main largest Christian group, and they were like, hey guys, keep an eye out for this group. It could probably be pretty dangerous. Like the humanities department or sent out an email to all the staff, and it was like, and then we had to have someone come and sit in on all our meetings to make sure we weren't gonna like uprise and do some hateful things. So yeah,
it's always the church groups that
right,
uprising.
right, that was always us, that we're about to uprise. And yeah.
So because it's candidate conversations, if I recall right, you were homeschooled.
Yeah, I was homeschooled, and then I also went to private school later on.
Okay. Where I was going to go with that is your dad ran as a candidate.
Mm-hmm.
What is it like? Because my daughter refuses to get on here and talk to me. Steve got his daughter to come talk.
I saw that. That was cool.
So, as a young woman whose parent is going through a candidacy,
yeah,
what was that like? Or what did you think your role in your father's candidacy was and should be?
Oh yeah, support role for sure. So Steve was on. So Steve has a son named Wyatt, and me and him kind of commiserate on in terms of what our roles are, and so and because me and him have been in politics a long time, and I've been in more of the value side of it, and like faith, family, freedom ever since in high school. I've done door knocking. I went and interned at the Leadership Institute, and I took a delegation of students from Montana, the biggest delegation ever, flew with me to go lobby our federal representatives, and I did that multiple times. And so yeah, I've worked in this space a while. I know about grassroots, how to door knock so much. I've led door knocking teams. And so with my dad, it's like he is extremely wise, and he basically, he's helped me hone my own ideas. And so I do have ideas of my own, but it's always like because he has helped me do that. He's got great perspectives. And so for me, like what Socrates said, and the philosophers back in the day, that's my degree, is they said the philosophers need to be the legislators, but they'll never do it because they don't want that control. And so I'm like, I am more of the advocate. I'm like, I'm going to get in there. I'm going to do this. And I knew that my dad would just have been absolutely great. And so that's why for me, I was more in the to support him in the, I'm going to door knock with people, get a team together, do that kind of stuff. And, and so, but with him, he went to the meetings. I am not a huge big into going to all the meetings. I will do it. Um, but yeah, he did that. And so I think it's like, it is a lot of work, but if you don't do challenging things, a lot of times the value in life is at the end of a challenging thing, and you just got to do it. You just got to fight for something, and even if it doesn't go the way you thought it would in the end, you're going to gain so much in terms of confidence, in terms of who you met, in terms of a new skill set. And so that's what I gained. And so I have my dad did not end up making it, but I have I'm not dissuaded or discouraged, or like I'm, not going to keep fighting or pushing what I believe is good.
Good.
Yeah.
So I don't want to get too far off of LifeWise, but
Yeah.
let's talk about door knocking for a minute, because
Okay.
this might segue into something. I've been trying to get somebody to sit down all day and have this discussion. When you door knock,
Yes.
what is when you come across somebody who is upset because maybe they got mailers or anything, what do you find yourself doing when you're talking to a citizen at their door? What's the biggest question or argument, or what do you run into the most?
Oh, like in terms of like the kind of reaction I get most often,
Reaction, or what, some of the candidates were saying that they were door knocking, and then people were just coming to the door mad because they got flyers, or they were seeing
like too
something,
much mail.
too much mail. This says that you did this and you're a horrible person. Or
Oh, sure.
or on the other flip side of that, you're sending me too much mail.
Yeah.
As a candidate, I
Yeah.
have never mailed out a single thing to
Mm,
my constituents,
right.
but they get mail. So have you ever had to
Oh man, yeah.
educate?
People will be like, so we didn't send out mailers either, but people will be like, oh, we already got your mailer, and it's like, because they just, for the average voter, it's just an influx of. They don't know who or what they got mail for, and they just know they're getting a lot, and you must be one of them sending them something, and so that's why they come already frustrated.
So as a PSA,
Hmm.
I try and show people, because they will bring mailers in and say, "Look, I got this." I'm like, "Well,
Right.
who sent it to you?"
Mm,
It has to be by law. A political mailer has to say
right.
who funded it. And so when somebody says, "Well, you sent me a bunch of mail," I'm like, "Well, does it say at the bottom who sent that to you?"
Hmm.
"Oh, well, it does." "Does it say paid for by John Looney for Montana?" "Nope, it says paid for by
Right.
whoever sent
So
it
yeah.
out."
Right.
So I find myself educating people a lot on, and I had this conversation with Audrey yesterday. Was
Yeah.
do your research.
Mm,
When you get something, don't take it at face value,
right.
unless it says paid for by John Looney.
Yeah, because then I put money behind
Then-
that. I believe in that message.
But
Yeah.
still, do your research.
Right.
So I'm just curious how often you ran into that.
Oh,
and
often, and I would just, yeah, if they said, basically, I would just say, here's the website, to make an informed decision or actually what I would do is I would get them to commit to voting. That's the main goal. That was my main goal, is to give them, so I'd be like, do you plan on voting in the primary election? And then they would be like, yes. And so now they're in that gear, and they think I'm there in a more objective sense, like I'm just hoping you vote. And so then I would say, okay, so the primary election, they're going to send out the ballots. You're going to get it, and I'd say the date. And then if you go in person, it's June 2nd. When you do vote, I encourage you to do this. And, I give them a little tiny spiel, and here's the website. You can look him up and see if he's the candidate for you. And then I'd go on to the next door. And they appreciated it being brief like that.
what you also are the Family Foundation.
Yes.
You guys have a huge project going on right now.
Oh yeah, the building, the Montana Center for Christian Policy. Yes. Oh, I'm so excited.
That's
Yeah.
going to be a big deal
Yeah.
there on the corner.
It is. It's going to be 3 stories. You might have already heard Patrick talk about it, but it's going to be 3 stories. It's just 3 blocks away from the Capitol. It's like a 3.5-minute walk. Patrick walked it, and he filmed himself, and so that video is up on our social media, and that's just going to be great because on the first floor is going to be all these nonprofits that are in the same, faith, family, freedom. That's what they're fighting for in Montana. So you're going to have all that synergy, and so that's just going to produce greater, better ideas. Just a better offense for what is thrown at us by the ACLU, who now is, they are pouring 25 million into these races, with Montana being a primary target, specifically our judicial race. So vote Dan Wilson for sure. But so the ACLU, and they're going to be, promoting all sorts of, LGBTQ, all sorts of stuff, in public and private life. But with this building, we'll be able to have a place to better strategize. And then on the second floor will be all these Christian conservative lawyers. And then on the third floor will be the Montana Family Foundation. And that's our offices. So
How do you find a Christian conservative attorney?
I don't know. Maybe we have the only one in Montana. And Derek A. Stryker. He's great. He's absolutely great. But no, there's a lot of good Christian attorneys out there. And that's actually what I'm going to do is I'm going into law, and I'm actually going to I'm at the very beginning stages. I'm going to take my LSAT August 5th. So, yeah.
So you want to be an attorney when you grow up?
Oh, yeah, I do.
All right.
Hey, I saw the Jack the Cake Baker case. Do you remember that?
No.
So he was sued for not baking a cake for a gay couple because it went against his convictions.
Is this the Denver or Colorado?
Yes.
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 Okay.
So, but he also wasn't going to make them for Halloween and stuff like that. And he said he'd sell them a cake, but he's just not going to do his artistic design and make them a specific cake or whatever. And so he got sued for everything he had. And I was there at the Supreme Court hearing outside. And so the ADF lawyer came out, Alliance Defending Freedom lawyer, and said, we're going to fight for Jack. We're going to do this and this. And I remember watching him and being like, that's what I want to do. I want to do what that lawyer's doing and give a defense. And Jack was so humble. He came in around the back, and there's a whole rallying group of everyone who was supporting the couple who was suing Jack, and they were praying. They were like, Lord, like, crush Jack, and I'm like, oh man, this is so messed up and so not right. So that's what really inspired me to want to go into law. And I was 18 then, and now I'm 27. So
Political future after you get your law degree?
oh man, I don't know. I don't know where the Lord will lead after that. Like, I don't know. Somebody asked me about running for office myself, and in my mind, I'm like, maybe do it when my kids are grown and stuff like that. Because I think foremost, I'm like, yeah, if I could just, have a family, that's like number one, lawyer, and then running for office. That's more like if the Lord definitely directs the path for sure, not like I'm choosing it. Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah.
It takes a lot.
It does take a lot. It takes a lot. Like candidates like you and people who choose to run, they are really, it is a selfless commitment. And it's tough because people act like it's not. They're like, oh, so you want to run. What can you,
What are you going to do? How are you going to?
yeah. What are you going to, yeah.
I find a lot of, so I speak at, anybody who wants us to come talk, I'll come
Right.
do a presentation. But then I get a lot of, we want to help.
Right.
And so we meet every Monday. Bring your volunteers, bring your walking group. And then you don't understand how hard it is to get people to commit to just helping a little bit.
Right.
It doesn't have to be knocking doors. Knocking doors is not for everybody.
Right.
I get that. It's a tough thing to go knock on a stranger's door and
Yeah.
say, I'm here to talk to you about politics. And
It's tough.
I'd like your vote. And,
Yes.
your ballot's going to be coming in the mail. And
Mm-hmm.
or are you going to go vote in person, which you should probably do anyways.
Yep. Yep.
But getting people to rally,
Mm-hmm.
and especially conservatives.
Oh man, it is so. Why is that? Why do you think that is?
I don't, we've been the silent majority. You hear the term silent majority for so long
Mm-hmm.
that I think it's baked in. And it's not that you don't want to be confrontational, because you're not really confrontational. I think society has built something or pushed something into
Mm-hmm.
your genome or your genes that says
Mm-hmm.
do everything you can do, but do it selflessly, silently, and most of the time alone.
Hmm.
And conservatives have a hard time asking, like, I have a hard time asking people, you know what the biggest ask for any politician is, I need money.
Yes.
Um, I mean,
100%.
I can dump my fortune into my own campaign,
Yeah.
but I also have a business to run, a family to support, vehicles to gas up. I
Yep.
can't spend my entire fortune on one
Mm-hmm.
thing. So the hard thing is to go out to other people and say, hey, can you spare a few dollars to help me run this campaign? I'm
Mm-hmm.
going to represent you. We have the same ideals. It's just not baked into to it goes against everything. I
Yeah.
think that you were raised as a conservative to not go out and ask for handouts.
Yes.
And the first thing in
Yeah. Especially
being
if you're a Montanan conservative,
right,
you know?
and you're limited,
Mm-hmm.
especially in the lower race and the state races. The max anybody can give you is $470.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a hard thing for conservative candidates to say, I need money. Can you send me some more money?
You're right.
Can you donate to the campaign?
Yeah.
And I think that bleeds over into your original question, is why is it so hard to get people? Well, because it's hard to ask people for help.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then I think there's a misnomer if he's asking for so much help.
Yeah.
Well, does he need help, or is he?
Like, is he gonna win if he needs help? Like, or maybe that. Like, does help look like you have a chance? Like that kind of thing?
That kind of thing. So,
Yeah.
like, we started this group. We call it the Lewis and Clark County Candidate Coalition,
Yeah.
and we started it because I think there's a different way. Democrats have been organizing for eons,
Oh yeah.
and that is what they excel at.
Mm-hmm.
And I was in the military. Across the world, people of a certain political lean are able to coordinate and group and
Yeah.
get something because they run on pure emotion.
That is so accurate. That is so what we need though as the conservatives is how to message things to stir emotion.
So, but conservatives don't like to show emotion. We work on facts and
Right.
figures and
Right.
what's right and what's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So when you try to get somebody to act
Yeah.
on emotion, you're working against what I work in the judiciary, in the
Yep.
judicial system. There's rules, regulations, laws. It's all
Mhm.
there in black and white. I can look up anything I want and figure out what's right and wrong. And I don't put emotion into it.
Mm.
But if I want to organize somebody on that,
Mm-hmm.
you've got to put emotion into it. And I think that's what we lack, is getting the emotion, the excitement.
Yes.
How do I get conservatives to get so mad
Yeah.
and so excited or so organized that they want to go out and get their fellow
Right.
conservatives to the voting booth?
Yeah, I think if I had to think about like what would be my messaging as a conservative, it would be hitting on things that are unfair. So like look at Spencer Pratt in California.
Right.
And he's living out of his trailer because the Palisades burned down, and he now films all his videos out of his trailer because the government, the governor and all of the legislature has refused to fix what happened during the fires and everything like that. And so there's like that is just like in my conservative mind, and in yours, you're like, that is such a failure of government, and it's like just unfair that these people are just living their lives while they're like in luxury and and whatever while they're refusing to fix their own city. And we are, as conservatives, we're conservers, and we see people who refuse to conserve what is, like their space, and we see like just the waste and the abuse. Then we're like, oh, that doesn't sit right emotionally. And then I think another thing is persecution. So the left, they will formulate persecution because they know that stirs emotion. It's fake. It's called victimhood. So they'd be
Yep.
like, I'm a victim, and that's why you need to support me. We're all victims. Everybody's going to be a victim, and you need to support this. But because we work on facts and logic, and because we also don't like this idea of victimhood, I understand that there's real victims out there of things and stuff, but in a real sense, like this sense of ownership and taking responsibility and picking yourself up by your bootstraps, that means that the persecution we get can't be feigned victimhood. It's going to be real as we fight for things, and sometimes you just have to wait for that, and that means just continuing to like do what you're doing and being on the front lines until you end up facing a real challenge. And then if that challenge is able to be documented, through media, and we see, oh, you were treated exceptionally unfairly. I was talking to a friend, I was like, if you're tabling and all of a sudden the police come and handcuff you, and we get that on film just because you were tabling in a public space, that would stir everybody up to support your mission. Maybe it's like a martyrdom syndrome. I don't know.
So we need to have somebody come in and handcuff me and drag me off of this podcast. And
Yeah, if that happened, they'd be like, we got to elect John Looney. This is it. I can't believe that happened to him.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so.
I think I have a pair of handcuffs over there somewhere.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, who could? Yeah. But that's what I think too, is that the messaging is hard for conservatives because we work on logic, and that doesn't, no emotion is really attached to that. So, and it's tough. It is really tough. But Montana is a red state though, so that's good, right? Hopefully it stays red.
It needs to be more red.
More red. Right
More
now
red.
it's like getting purple.
It's getting close to being purple.
Yeah.
Everybody says, when we look at Lewis and Clark County candidates, we've got 7 candidates right now. Can we win any of these seats? Because they typically vote blue.
Mm.
Well, yes, we can win them.
Mm-hmm.
It's very possible to win them
Mm.
if conservatives would go out and turn their ballots in.
Yeah.
If those people that are still on the fence would listen and talk and come down and meet their candidates and do a true one-on-one conversation with them and see who it is that would best represent them.
Mm-hmm.
Who is going to go into the legislature and fight for what they want,
Right.
not what the 2% want or what the 1% want or
Yeah.
what the squeaky wheel wants. What is best for Montana and who is going to best represent that? I think that you would see all of these seats turn red.
I think that would be so cool. I'm just bummed about these ballot initiatives and that we don't have any of our own.
That's a whole nother conversation.
Yeah.
And we could spend an
In
hour
terms of turning out the vote.
and right.
Yeah.
Because there is a true organizational factor to running a CI.
Mm.
And that's how you get. Somebody once told me if you could get a CI for what was it? It was I think it was retirement or if you were going to take money away from senior citizens, but you were going to run a CI to make a constitutional amendment that your retirement was protected.
Yeah.
Conservatives would flock to the ballot box.
Hmm.
Why do we always see CIs for putting abortion in the Constitution,
Mm-hmm.
for keeping judges' races nonpartisan? Why is it a CI? Why do we have to mess with our Constitution?
Mm-hmm.
Well, because you can't win in the legislature.
No.
You can stir up a base, though, emotionally, and get them to the ballot box
Mm-hmm.
and turn it that way.
Yeah.
And so then on top of getting your CI through, you also have all the votes that came with that.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah. Yeah. And it's tough too, because in the legislature, when you want to change the Constitution, you need a 2/3 majority, but not with ballot initiatives.
nope.
Yeah.
And ballot initiatives are tricky. My mom, I went up for 4th of July and visited with her during 4th of July, and she's like, I signed these 2 ballot initiatives. This gal told me how great they were outside the post office, and
Yeah.
I was like, "Ugh, tell me which ones."
Hmm.
And I was like, I'm going to teach you now how to remove your name from
Yes.
a signature on a ballot initiative, because
Yeah.
whoever did that straight up lied to you.
Yeah, and they do that. Like, I even went up to a signature gatherer and I'm like, tell me about this. And I already knew, it was the, partisan elections. I already know everything about it. And it was so vague. And they're like, don't you believe, in fair, having judges that, have no views? Don't you believe that? And I'm like, and it's like, sign here. But it's just so unclear, right?
Right.
And you really need to. And so they did have the ballot on the clipboard or the ballot measure. It was under everything. And not until I was like, can you tell me, like, can you explain this further? Can you explain this further? Did they flip to that page to show me the language? They're not going to show you the language initially. And they should. Be like, you read this if you want to sign it.
Read this. Ask me some questions.
Yes, that's right.
No, I'm going to tell you about it, and hopefully you don't want to read it.
Hmm.
And maybe you won't ask me any questions, and I get your signature.
Exactly. And that's what they do. Yeah, they'd be
So-
like, hey, do you support women's health? And then they're like, so sign this, measure. But it's like unlimited abortion, by anybody, like it's like by a medical provider. But how many people fall into that category of medical provider? So it's not, yeah, it's tough, but we can
Quit.
keep up the good fight, right?
Quit messing with the Constitution.
Quit messing with the Constitution and, yeah, and sometimes I wish Montanans, yeah, like you said, I wish we would rise up a lot more. I wish we would have that sense of like, don't tell us what to do, outsiders who are pouring money in our elections.
Quit being the silent majority.
Be the loud majority.
Be the loud majority.
Hmm.
Tell your neighbor to vote.
Hmm.
Invite a candidate over to your house to meet your neighborhood. Throw a block party.
Oh, yeah.
But we are way far off of LifeWise
Okay.
now.
Yeah.
So let's close with anything we need to know about LifeWise.
Oh.
How do they get involved? How do they contact you?
Yeah, you just can go to lifewise.org and then you can, put your city in the search bar and it'll show you what is available in your area. And then you can enroll your kid that way. Just go to lifewise.org. Yeah.
Perfect. We're at the fair. If you want to come down and have a candidate conversation with a candidate, I think we have everybody but Chico here tonight. I think there's at least 5 candidates you can choose from. Maybe you don't know what district you're in. Come down and find out which one is your candidate, and then put him on the chair and ask him, her, Katie, whoever.
Yeah.
Ask whichever candidate is yours the hard questions. Do you have any hard questions?
Hard questions? Ooh. Hard questions. Let me think. For you? Well, I guess why are you running?
Why am I running?
Yeah.
Because I am tired of seeing the legislators that sit around in a committee not ask questions, not make decisions based off of what people that come. We have a citizen legislature, citizen legislators that are supposed to represent the people that
Yeah.
elected them. We go to committee hearings to make our voices heard, and you're told you have 1 minute at the mic, or you have 3 minutes at the mic. Well, I have more to say than 30 seconds of I am opposed to, or I am a proponent of this bill.
Yeah.
I'm here to answer questions.
Right.
If we want people to represent you, or if you want to have your voice heard, you need to elect candidates that are going to go up there and ask the questions and do the research and make sure that I am representing my constituents the way they are asking me to represent them.
Hmm.
I'm tired of spending 3 minutes at a mic. I want my seat at the table, because my seat at the table is 7,000 people's seat at the table.
Yeah.
And we're going to ask the questions, and we're going to figure out whether every single thing that comes across that floor is good for Montana or not. Is it going to cost us money, or not?
Hmm.
Do we need to stop funding some things and shrink government again? Or do we want to make it bigger?
Right.
But I'm running because I truly believe that our voices are not being heard, and I'm going to be that voice.
That's great.
So
That's great. Well, I wish you the best on your candidacy. I know you're still in it, and
I hear you run door knocking teams.
I did. Yeah, I did. I did. Not anymore. Not anymore, John.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for joining us. Again, we're at the county fair. Come down and have a candidate conversation. And we will see you on the next one.
All right. Thank you so much.
Come this way. Don't walk over my wires.